Morning. It's Friday, August 21st. And last week at Current Events, I discussed the normalization of diplomatic relations between Israel and the United Arab Emirates. Now, this is the first time that Israel has had a formal agreement with any of the Gulf states. And apparently, this agreement has upset the Palestinians. And let me tell you why it's upset the Palestinians. It hasn't upset them because of the relationship itself. It's upset them because the United Arab Emirates, in their capital city of Abu Dhabi, is building a multi-faith complex that includes a synagogue, a church, and a mosque. The committee overseeing the construction of the complex said the following: a church, a mosque, and a synagogue will share a collective space for the first time, serving as a community for interreligious dialogue and exchange, and nurturing the values of peaceful coexistence and acceptance among different beliefs, nationalities, and cultures. And this is what has the Palestinians so upset. In their mind, it's unconscionable that any Jew could pray in an Arab land. And so they've taken to rioting in the streets about this. Now, for the past few years, the Palestinians have been waging a campaign to stop Jews from visiting Jerusalem's Temple Mount and the Noble Sanctuary, a place that is sacred to Muslims and Jews. Now, we all know that the Palestinian Authority, Hamas, and other Palestinian groups continue to portray these visits as violent incursions by extremist Jewish settlers, even though many of the visitors are not extremists and do not live in the settlements. It's a charade. The Palestinians refuse to admit to the world that the Jews had two temples at the Temple Mount long before anything was built there by the Muslims. It's the holiest place in the world for Jewish people. The Palestinians, however, continue to deny any Jewish historic and religious connection to the Temple Mount and harass Jews who, as tourists, visit the sites. The Palestinians are now saying that they have a problem not only with Jews touring the Temple Mount, but with those who wish to pray inside a synagogue in an Arab country. And that country they're pointing at right now is the United Arab Emirates. The act of Jews praying inside a synagogue in an Arab country seems to bother the Palestinian Muslims more than the killing and wounding of thousands of Muslims and Christians in last week's huge explosion at the port of Beirut. And then the group called the rightly guided successors of the Prophet Muhammad accused the United Arab Emirates of acting in violation of the Quran and the Hadith, which is a collection of traditions containing sayings by the Prophet Muhammad that constitute the major source of guidance for Muslims apart from the Quran. And displaying any loyalty to Jews and Christians is a violation of those two texts. So this Palestinian group is outraged also that Muslim money was spent building this multi-faith complex. And this is not the only nonsense that pervades that society. Recently, the Palestinian Authority rejected a medical aid shipment from the United Arab Emirates because it was sent through Israel's Ben Gurion airport. The Palestinian Authority explained that it rejected the shipment because the Palestinians refuse to be a bridge for Arab countries seeking to have normalized ties with Israel. So I ask you, do you really believe that in our lifetime we will ever see peace in that part of the world? If a diplomatic relationship is causing so much grief in the Palestinian world, can they ever look the other way and decide to have a peaceful existence? Not only would it be a peaceful existence, it would be a profitable existence. Palestinians is a country that is poor. They would have the opportunity to make a decent life for their people. But they are locked into this book of hatred. And I don't know when it will end. And we are not getting any help from anywhere else, as clearly exhibited every time the UN meets and finds something wrong with what Israel does. So when I read this stuff, I'm amazed that there hasn't been a revolution in Palestine by now. Because anybody with a clear head will see that this position at this time in this world is the position of an insane group of people. And I could rant some more about this, but I think it's enough. So I'll say to all of you, good Shabbos. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the morning.